cuties, besties, and ghosties. This is Muertera, and this is my channel, Muertero. Welcome back for all of my friends that have subscribed. Welcome back to my new friends as well. I'm really excited to have you here. Today we are going to be doing a reading, asking Spirit whether you should move on from this connection. So just a quick heads up, when I do the readings, I will put a little disclaimer in front of energies or piles that I feel are very heavy. I want to make sure that this is a positive, good experience for you, and also just let you know in case you're like not having a good day or you don't really want a message like that. So just know that I think I'm going to do that in readings moving forward as well. So it's not like a huge surprise, because I will read the cards very honestly. And I do want to be upfront about that. I try to be as gentle as possible. But I will let you know what I'm seeing. It's really important to me to give you a really kind of clear and accurate picture of what's going on. So remember that this is energy. You have free will. You can absolutely do whatever you want. I'm truly like a stranger on the internet, so this is also a general reading. So there are a lot of people here. If you don't resonate with the pile, or there are certain things that feel a little off, like go with your gut, go with your intuition. I think that's especially important to say in a type of reading like this. Besides that, we are going to be digging quickly into the energy. We'll do an energy check for all of the piles so you can figure out if this aligns with you and it's your pile. And then we're going to look at tarot. And I'm going to leave that a little bit open depending on what comes out in tarot. I'll ask a couple clarifying questions, and if advice seems like it would be helpful, then I will also pull a few cards for advice. So as usual, I'll have a section where I dig into all the crystals and give you a little update on what those energies are, play a meditation bowl, and then hopefully by that time you'll have enough time to take a look at the crystals and decks and decide which one you want to pick. So I'm excited to do this reading for you, and I will, well, if I don't see you in the next section, then I will see you in your reading. Okay, bye. Hi friends. We are gonna run through the piles now. So let's start out with the first one. Sorry, that was like a really awkward intro. I'm just feeling a little loopy today, as usual. So with the first pile, we have this piece of red carnelian. I love this stone. Enhances courage, bravery, just a really bold, daring feeling stone. So that is pile number one. Pile number two is lapis lazuli. This helps you connect your head, your heart, and your throat so you can speak clearly. Really great stone for channeling. Our next one is a green adventurine, and this stone helps you to be adventurous. Sorry, all my school teachers out there. Someone has not given me a different synonym for adventurous, so I'm just going to stick with that one. But this enhances creativity, playfulness in your life, helps you get out there. And then finally, we have our all-purpose white quartz. So a really cute little stone. This one just really, it always makes me think about getting kind of clear into the heart of a situation. So these are our four piles. I'm going to play the bowl. If you need a little bit of time to dig into the energy and really figure out how you're feeling about it, this is your moment. And then I will see you in your reading. Okay, friends, thank you for sticking with me, and I will see you in your reading. Bye. Hi, Pile 1. If you picked this red carnelian, then this is your reading. So I have already shuffled some oracle cards for you. Sorry about just dropping that little thing over there. So first we have our central energy of sadness. We have a connecting energy of the mystic reversed. And then I have chosen two cards, Azaka La Flambeau and Ashe, as similar connecting energies as well. Okay, and then we'll be reading from an A and B person style. So on the left, we have the Crow reversed, and I just dropped a card. It just be one of those days. We have the Vulture, and it came out with the starfish crossed under there like that. So I feel like that is how it's meant to go. So we're going to start with the central energies, and then we'll go from person A and B. Generally, I read as if you are person B and you're asking about person A, but by all means, the energies could be mirrored or flipped. So really go with what resonates, especially in this reading. And this is a general reading, so if things don't resonate, definitely take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, so let's start with the central energy. The first card that I pulled out was sadness. It's interesting. I feel like I don't feel a super heavy energy from this pile. And kind of the first thing I noticed when I pulled out the cards was that we have these two birds, and they're both reversed, and they're both facing away from each other. Most of the cards in this spread are very spiritual cards. And I feel like these two people kind of have this deep knowing about this situation. And there's a lot of sadness and some sort of almost like disconnect from their spiritual nature, or a disappointment in what actually transpired in this connection and how it ended up. Like, I think that there was a lot of, I think there is still a lot of love here. But I think there is a certain degree of disappointment, because it seems like these two people kind of put their eggs in this basket, and had a lot of hope for what it was going to bring. And it feels like both people here have had a realization that they may just not be getting what they need from this connection. It's interesting that Ashe came out. Ashe is like the spiritual lifeblood. It also can mean confirmation. So I think, honestly, for this pile, we're going to dig into it. I think what you feel deep down, like connect to spirit, this just in and of itself is confirming what you feel. And for me, just sitting in this energy and feeling it, it's almost like it's a very, very deep sadness, but almost a recognition of the other person that says, I see you, I see the purpose that you had in my life, and I'm also kind of making the conscious decision to turn to something else. Over on the crow can see the past, the present, and the future. I feel like person A is a bit disconnected from their intuition. I think this connection really rocked them. I don't really see an indication of what specifically happened here, but the energy doesn't really feel very hot, if that makes sense. Like it's a little bit airy, it's a little bit watery. We do have the Ten of Wands here, but it almost feels like it's past energy. Like the energy is no longer in the wands anymore. It's burning up into the air, and that's the smoke in this card, kind of burning up. Almost like these two people have kind of left it up to the universe, saying there's nothing really much that we can do here anymore. Whatever break happened or heartbreak happened or sadness, we're kind of saying we're going to leave it up to the universe and divine timing. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's kind of how I see this energy. Like there's just kind of like a deep knowing, and it's almost equal on both sides. I think for the vulture, I feel like the vulture person felt a little bit unappreciated in this connection. The starfish is about kind of being beautiful and kind of over indexing on superficial things to get validation and value. And I feel like because the crow person is very connected to their spirituality and very grounded in a normal sense. I wouldn't say in this connection. I think they're confused in this connection as well. But I do think that the vulture looked up to the crow person and gave a little bit too much. And I do feel a little bit of disillusionment from the vulture side with where things ended up, and almost an understanding that they gave a little bit too much, and didn't appreciate the gifts that they had themselves. If this is you, I think that you are just starting to really learn and accept, and I'm actually getting like a little bit teary, but like really like happy, like joy feelings right now. I feel like you are developing a degree of self-worth that you have never felt in your life before. And I think it's very hard for you to feel negatively at times about this connection, because this has been such a gift to you, where you can see your value. Like the vulture has a special role in nature. The vulture comes and cleans and picks bones. You know, they're making way for new life. And I think that you have special talents that maybe had gone underdeveloped before this connection. And through this heartbreak, you have really seen yourself with a lot more clarity and a lot more kindness, and seen the depths of yourself that really have so much value to them. So while it's very sad, it's just this deep knowing and kind of beautiful, beautiful energy. So we're going to move on to the tarot and ask a few questions. If this does not feel like your pile, then definitely go and pick another one. There are 3 different piles, so definitely, or 4 different piles. I did an extra one today. So there should be, a different one, hopefully that resonates. Okay. Okay, so we are going to start, we're using I think this is called the Mysterious Forest deck. And we're going to ask Tarot whether you should move on. So let's get started. We'll probably ask like a first row of questions. I want to leave this a little bit open, and we can ask any clarifiers if the message seems a little unclear. So Spirit, should pile 1 move on? Okay, so let's take a pause. I'm going to take this one too. I feel like it wants to come. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, Judgment upright, the Knight of Wands reversed, and the Ten of Cups reversed. Okay. Right off the bat, I am getting a distinct feeling um, that this Judgment card is really the central energy of this connection. This connection was in your life to prompt a spiritual revelation for the both of you. I think you're both very spiritually connected. And I almost get the sense that there were kind of many people around this situation. Like, I see a little bit of energy mismatch between the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles. And that may be a little bit of an energy mismatch between you and your person. Like, you're both very strong personalities, but in kind of different ways. Like, one of you is a little bit more slow and cautious, and maybe a little bit more wrapped up in kind of the 3D world. Another one is a little bit quicker. This is an interesting deck. This is actually the first time that I've used it. This Ten of Cups is actually like, they look like lips to me. I think some of them are. But I feel like there were, oh, I'm like completely off the camera too. Sorry. I'm like staring at this right now. But I do feel like there were many people in this situation that interfered. There potentially could have been like someone from the past coming in, like this Knight of Wands that came and really just shook up the connection. But I feel like there were a lot of people around putting their 2 cents and opinion in this situation. And I think that was one of the major interferences here. I feel like the most important part of this connection is the spiritual learning and growth. And I think I want to ask like a little bit more information about what happened here. Because all of these cards are in reverse, which kind of tells me that this is blocked energy, and it's really dependent on how this judgment lesson really manifests in your life and what you choose to do with the information. Again, I feel like there's almost this like knowing and understanding that as it stands right now, like you both are kind of focused on different things. And I kind of feel like you can hold this person in your heart, but there's nothing that you can really actively do to change the situation right now. Like it's more about your own internal growth and about the growth of the person. And it really is something that's going to be up to divine timing. We have like these 2 hands that are outstretched here. And they're stretched downward. I feel like both of you are really reaching within right now. And that's where this connection's at. And I think it's going to remain there for a while. So let's ask Spirit, can you clarify with like 2 cards the purpose of this connection? Okay. So we have the Star reversed and we have Temperance. And straight off the bat, like these are 2 major arcana. I feel like there is a lot of disillusionment with this connection where there was so much hope for what this could be from both sides. And the energy was just never in balance. Like it couldn't quite get there. You never kind of made it past the threshold. And again, the purpose of it was for you to spiritually evolve. So I think that you probably went into it a little bit with like rose-colored glasses and just got kind of dealt blows and roadblocks and all of these things, so you would learn to kind of balance these two cups within yourself and create something. Like it's the lesson of alchemy. How are you going to create that within yourself? Okay, and then Spirit, should pile one move on? Like what's the best path forward for them right now? Because I'm asking it in that way because it does seem like to a certain extent you've moved on right now, but you're kind of like peeking backwards a little bit, if that makes sense. Like you're like, okay, well, I'm gonna focus on me, but what about this person? Like, are they gonna come back? So Spirit, what's the best path forward for pile one? Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. So this is really telling me that for the time being, I don't want to put like any like time frames on this connection, or, you know, you have free will, so you can really, you absolutely can do whatever you want, boo. But for me, these are extremely slow moving energies, right? Like the Seven of Pentacles is really about taking a look at our life, and the pentacles in this deck also look like eyeballs. So I feel like not only are you looking at your life and looking at this connection and looking at your growth with your 3D eyes, but you're also really gazing on it with your third eye. I'm really kind of called to this like one eye, the Knight of Pentacles. I think that you're learning to go within and really value your rich inner world. This connection has really pushed you in that direction. And I think that's really what you should be focusing on in the time being. I really do feel like this is a situation that is going to be down to divine timing. If the universe brings you back together, they're going to bring you back together. But this, to me right now, I think this is more about the lessons that you need to incorporate within your life that you've gained from this connection. It doesn't really tell me much about the other person and what they're doing. And I think that's the best path forward for you, is to really go within and do your own spiritual work. Figure out who you are. Manifest that into the world. And I think what you're going to find here is, you know, there's two scenarios. There's you do your work and this person does their work, and at some point the universe may bring you back together. Or you do your work and that other person either does or doesn't, you know, like you can't control that. And you may find that the universe brings you somebody else that's far more suited to this new person that you're becoming. But I think your future and what's coming for you is really down to this inner work that you're doing, and the ability to really look within and decide who you want to be, regardless and independent of another person. So that's what I'm seeing now. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was, you know, good guidance that gave you a little bit of insight into what's going on and what to focus on. Again, I don't think this is a situation where you have to make a hard and fast, like, yes or no, I'm going to move on for this. But I do think that the best thing for you right now is to just focus on you, and do that inner work. So thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It was really fun. It was really beautiful to channel your energy. I think these are really, I don't know, I think this deck worked really well for the spiritual nature of your connection. If you enjoyed this, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. I am, again, so grateful to have you here. I hope you protect your little heart, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, Pile 2. If you picked this little lapis lazuli, then this is your reading. So I have already shuffled some oracles for you. So I will lay those out for you now. Our first card is energy. I feel like a kind of like fire that is kind of increasing from this card. That was like the vibe I got when I pulled it. We have the Tear. As connecting energies, we have the Ace of Cups, Aida Wedo, and Oshun, which is the Seven of Pentacles. We have Room for Happiness and Big Deck Energy. We're gonna say Big Deck Energy, so you know YouTube doesn't get upset with me. For person A, we have the Lizard, and then for person B is the Bee reversed. Okay, so we're gonna read this in a person A and B format. Generally, I'll read it with person A on the left, and that would be who you're asking about, and then on the right, generally would be you. If I see the energies and I think it's different, I can let you know. If there's any mirroring, that's totally normal, or if you think it's flip-flopped, just take it how it resonates, please. So let's start with the central energy, and it's energy between these two. It's kind of interesting. Like, I feel like there is like a slight kind of imbalance between these two, where both of these people are pretty industrious people. I think they really like get a lot of shit done, but I do think they're also like really shedding things right now. Like, the Tear is about cleansing through tears. How tears can be kind of like destructive energies in a way, but they make room for something. And we have over here Room for Happiness and Big Deck Energy. I feel like these two people may have been going through cycles where maybe one was in more of a shedding phase and one was in more of like a industrious and stronger energy phase. We also have the Ace of Cups over here. So I do feel like each of these people have a lot to offer, but then the clarifying energy is the Seven of Pentacles, which is kind of a very like slow or non-moving energy whatsoever. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here. Like I feel like there is, like, this is more of a spread of potential. And I'm kind of interested to dig into the tarot because it seems like right now the Lizard is in more of kind of like a forward facing and an energy that wants to move forward. And it seems like the Bee is like in more of a little bit like resistant or kind of like tired and worn out energy. And if this is you right now, I feel like maybe you're here because you are asking, like, I've been trying and trying, but it seems like this connection really just isn't going anywhere. It does feel like this energy in the middle is just kind of like spinning, and you're kind of like each picking up each other's energy, but then like you just can't figure out how to move it forward together. You're almost like draining each other, and there's a ton of potential here, and a ton of potential for love. Like, Oshun, even though she is the Seven of Pentacles in this deck, she is love and femininity and sweetness. Like, she is the Orisha of love. It just seems like for some reason the two people in this connection can't get past this first step. Like, something's just getting in the way. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of desire here, there's a lot of potential, but I feel like there may be external things in both of your lives that are like wearing you down and draining you. Like, when the lizard is very intuitive and can get overwhelmed and overburdened really easily, which would cause them to withdraw. The Bee in the same way. The Bee's about community, like creating honey for the hive, but it's a worker bee. So there is a point where that's too much work and too much pressure. And if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're going to get worn down. I I don't really see any like negative energies connecting these two people. It does seem like it's more to do with community or factors outside of the connection. So let's move into tarot and get a little bit more clarity on this situation and where it's going. And also just a quick reminder, if this doesn't feel like your energy or doesn't feel like your pile, please go, feel free to pick another pile. There are 3 other piles, and yeah. Okay, we are going to be using the Mysterious Force Tarot. Okay, Spirit. Can you tell me, should pile 2 move on from this situation? Oh, that was too many. We'll take that bottom one. I feel like Spirit wanted this one too. Okay, those are our cards. So we have the Lovers reversed as well as the Wheel of Fortune reversed. The 8 of Wands reversed, the Page of Pentacles reversed, and the 6 of Cups. Okay. Whew. I feel like both of you really recognize that there is something very special about this connection. However, there are things outside of your control that are pulling you away from it. I think these are things that you probably know about. I don't think, like, I don't see like third party energy here. I feel like it truly is like just kind of like a heaviness of knowing, like the 6 of Cups, like knowing that there's a lot of sweetness here and there's so much potential. And there has been for quite some time. Like the 6 of Cups is about nostalgia. So this is a person that you've had a connection with, and there is just kind of like that energy that lingers there, that big deck energy. Like, you know that if you could actually get this to ground, this would be an amazing connection. But what this is telling me right now is that both of you kind of like have your external lives and external circumstances and things that you're not willing to sacrifice or change, whether it's family, school, career. And right now the Wheel of Fortune is reversed and the Lovers is reversed. And I feel like kind of the decision has been made either by you or by the universe, that this is just not an energy that's going to move forward. And I'm really sorry about that, because I do think that, you know, at one point this connection showed a lot of promise. I think there's a lot of desire and passion here. We have the 8 of Wands in reverse, and I think it's been sustained for a long time. We also have the Page of Pentacles in reverse. And these are interesting cards because the imagery is kind of like wild, and I'm not this is the first time I've really used them, but like this card, I mean, there's all these little trees at the bottom of it. Like this person has been like trying to plant seeds and cultivate, and then there's just like all these little like Venus flytraps just like chomping trees down. I think both of you have tried in this connection, and the potential for sweetness and the potential for love in this connection it's there, but it's really trapped in this nostalgic feeling, and it feels like, you know, like you look at the 8 of Wands here too, there's all these hands. I feel like they're like, these hands are almost like circumstances in your life that are holding both of you back from the connection right now. Yeah. If I was just gonna, you know, give you advice, like just straight from here, you know, Spirit is saying that, yes, it's time to move on from the situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like cut out this person, really. Like, this is your life, it's up to you and what you want to do. I don't feel animosity between the two of you. I honestly just feel like a sense of frustration and tiredness, not necessarily between you, but just kind of at the situation. Like, both of you are kind of like trying to like poke your heads out of your lives and figure out how to make it work, and it's just like not, it's not grounding. um so let's ask spirit, like, what is currently coming in between this connection? Whoa, okay. So we have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Swords, and we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Emperor. Okay. I see like a little bit of a worry and a struggle for independence here. Um, I wonder right now if the two of you are really focused on kind of like building up your own lives and building your career. The Emperor may be energy from either a parent or a mentor, someone of that nature, um, that's really been guiding either one or both of you towards a life where you really feel like the Nine of Pentacles, like you've got your bag, you're independent, you can take care of yourself. Like, I see this as an energy of building. And we do have the Nine of Swords here and the Three of Swords here. I feel like certain sacrifices have been made in the name of this advancement. And I feel like for whatever reason, this connection has been one of those sacrifices. Whether or not that's been a direct choice from either of you, it may have been. It may just be external circumstances that are coming in between. But I kind of feel like, I don't know, like the Six of Cups like seems to me about like, it's almost like little balloons of hope like coming up, and then this Nine of Swords is just popping them. And I think it wears both of you down, to be perfectly honest. I think this work and this grind, like trying to be this independent person and trying to build up your life, whatever you're working on, is also grinding you down a little bit too. And it almost makes like the work that you're putting in to other areas of your life is almost creating like infertile ground specifically for this connection. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It more feels like right person, wrong time. And I think both of you have kind of a deep sadness from this. Like, it's not very satisfying, but it doesn't feel like either of you are willing to make the compromises to make it work. Like, it almost feels like a situation where to make it work, like one of you would maybe have to give up a dream or give up your career, or, decide, oh, well, you're going to go to college in another city and I'll move out there too, and I won't go to college. And like neither of you are going to do that. So it's kind of like a moot point. Okay, I'm gonna give you like a piece. Let's do advice on this one. I'm kind of leaving like the reading up to spirit and just doing what I feel in the piles. But I feel like, this is sad. This is two people who have a lot of affection for each other, and there's some passionate energy in between you. Like, this Emperor dude looks sad. Like, look how sad he looks, But he's like, dude, like, I'm an emperor. I gotta build my kingdom. I gotta make sacrifices to do it. Yeah, it makes me sad, but like, this is gonna bring me to stability. And this is gonna create a life for myself. And I can't make sacrifices for that, even if it means I have to walk away from things and be sad for a little bit. Like, I know that's gonna enhance my happiness long term. So Okay, my pile twos. In the meantime, what can you focus on to heal a bit from this connection and from the disappointment? I feel like there's just some disappointment around this. Okay, Dark Moon, pause and rest. Yes, you are a busy, busy bee. And then you have sign. If you were looking for a sign, here it is. I feel like you are like the bee turning into a butterfly. Like whatever you're working on right now, it is going to take fruit. It's going to take root. It is going to grow. It is going to change you as a person. And it's going to be really beautiful. I think for you, the challenge is making sure that you build in time to rest. Like you can't always be grinding. You got to take time for yourself. Like if you're feeling very overwhelmed, sometimes, you know, going and taking a walk for a half an hour can be the better thing for you. If you're studying, like studying for 15 hours straight isn't going to be as efficient as studying in like half an hour chunks and taking 10-minute breaks once in a while. Like things like that. Like life is a marathon, it's not a sprint. And I think that in a lot of ways, you and this person are mirroring each other, where you are really grinding away at your future and forgetting to actually like take care of yourself in between. So I think, you know, if you're looking for the question, should I move on? I think this is a sign for you to move on. It's not a moving on out of negativity. I think it's a moving on to give yourself that pause and rest. If things aren't taking root right now, if it's not the right time, take a pause from it, take a rest, take care of yourself. Again, like life is long. A lot of beautiful things are going to happen to you and happen for you. And you're growing and developing right now. It's a really beautiful time. So I hope this was helpful. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me. I really enjoyed having you here. I think you're a beautiful soul. I'm really curious what you're working on and where you're going right now. I think you have so much like industriousness, you know, and I think learning to kind of channel this sadness and deal with it, like channel it into the work that you're doing, you're going to be super successful. So if you resonated with this reading, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. But above all, I hope that you'll protect yourself, keep yourself safe, take some rest, really value yourself. And I hope you will see me again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this adventuring, then this is your pile. Welcome. Okay, I have shuffled your oracle cards already, so I'm just going to go ahead and lay those out. We're going to do a quick energy check, and then we will dig into tarot. Depending on what comes out, I might get you a little advice or just kind of ask clarifying questions. Your energy card is Sweetness. That was a really cute little heart on a stick. You have the King and the Mountain as your clarifiers for the central energy. For the person on the right, we have the Fish reversed, clarified by the Firefly. And then we have the Fire Ant on the right. We have Oya, which is the Three of Pentacles, and the Market, which is the World reversed. And then we have Sunk Costs as your last oracle. Okay, so generally I read in, you know, a person A and B format. And generally I will read like person A is who you're asking about, and generally person B is who's in this pile. I almost get the feeling like if you're watching this, you may be more the Firefly pile. So if it's a little bit like flip-flopped, reversed, I do see a lot of mirroring across the two sides here. So you might find aspects that you relate with in both sides of the pile. So don't be alarmed. Definitely take what resonates. If it doesn't, this is a general reading. So, don't let it take from you. I'm just a pair of talking hands on the internet, y'all. This is a really interesting spread. Generally, when I see the fire ant in a spread, it kind of like, it evokes almost like a feeling of aggression or anger, kind of like an outburst like that. But I think with the sweetness card, it really tones down this energy. And I see this fire as almost like a little bit of a past energy. I feel like there has been a recent change in this dynamic where you're both really starting to take kind of like a holistic look at your own behaviors and your own dynamics and pattern within the connection, and trying to figure out like, okay, is this something that I can change? Is this something that I can work on? Is this connection salvageable? I see some costs, like these are my personal cards, and I love good wordplay and puns. And when I saw this card come out, like I kind of laughed with like I pulled the King and the Mountain first. So the King is like the Emperor energy, like I'm on my throne, you're gonna do what I say, like very controlling. And the Mountain is all about kind of the journey within, like an ego. So your ego is going to tell you that the riches lie at the top of the mountain. But in reality, like all of the golden gems are within the mountain. Like you have to go down and inward to actually find those depths. And I think it's really interesting that this King who, upright is like looking out into the world, is almost like reaching down, like almost like there may have been kind of like a struggle for power or some arguments that were really draining in the past in this connection. And these two people, rather than saying, you know what, like this is enough, I'm not going to deal with it, took a look at the connection and said, like, there's a lot of value and worth here, and I'm actually going to do the inner work to try to go down and in deep. And the sunk cost kind of made me laugh because like it's an economic term. So sunk cost is like, okay, well, you paid $1,000 for a video camera to record on VHS in 1993, and like now it's 2023, and you're like, yeah, but I paid $1,000 for that, but like you can't buy tapes for your video camera anymore. You don't have a TV that can play it. Like it's a sunk cost. It's gone. You're never going to recoup that. You're never going to use it. Like you should let that go. And I feel like these people are realizing, you and your person are realizing, you people, these people, I don't know why I said that. You and your person are realizing that like there's a lot of value within. Like this isn't a sunk cost. Like you're looking at things that have value in this relationship, and you're realizing that you've only scratched the surface, and it really runs deeper. And if you're both willing to come to the table with sweetness and with love for each other, then you can move forward. Like the Three of Pentacles is all about building stable foundations. And I think with the market here, it really is about inner work. It's not about looking externally and trying to control externally, or, trying to domineer your partner, or, having an attitude of my way or the highway. Like the market is about collaboration. The market is about trade and give and take. And I think you and this connection are learning about that right now. And I don't want to discount the fact that whatever has happened previously in this connection was probably very hard. I see the fire ant as a little bit more of a forward, outward facing energy. The fire ant can be fiery, quite aggressive, domineering, but also structured and controlled. Like there are aspects to that personality that are very beneficial. And for the fish person, the fish is really about going with the flow and kind of flowing with the universe. The firefly is a bright, like, light of creation and inspiration, but the firefly can feel very overburdened, and can feel like when there's a lot of energy around, their light can dim. So it takes effort to kind of sustain that. I feel like in the upright positions, these energies are actually quite complementary to one another. We have kind of like air and water on one side and more of like a groundy, earthy fire on the other side. Like the fire ant is fire, but it lives on the ground. And so in balance, I do think that these two people could have a very beautiful relationship and really move forward and go within and do the inner work and actually come out the other side realizing that there's a lot of balance between the two of them. And if they can figure out how to do it, a lot of complementary energy that will actually make each other stronger. So I dig this. Let's move on to the tarot and get a little bit more clarification. We are going to use the Mysterious Forest Tarot. This is my newest deck and I'm kind of obsessed with it. So I'm sure you'll see it in like every single reading moving forward. I say that about every new deck I get. Okay, for my lovely pile threes, Spirit, should pile 3 move on? Okay, I'll take this too. Okay, we have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands reversed. The Knight of Swords. I'm going to take that up, right? Knight of Pentacles, the Four of Swords, and then the Lovers kind of ended up a little orphaned. Let's sneak him in there. Okay. And the Lovers was actually, I think, the first card that came out. So it came out for pile 1 as well, I want to say. The first thing that just right off the bat is I want to remind you that you have free will. And you get to choose whatever you want. And the Lovers is a reminder of this. I think like this card in particular almost like seems to me like divine masculine and feminine like coming together as one. And the Lovers is all about a decision. Well, my hand just got real big. Sorry. Sorry, friends. I'm just giving you a little high five. Okay. So the Lovers, you know, it's about a decision. I think this is really up to you. I do think that there's a lot of love in this situation. I think that there have been harsh words in the past. And I think you may be kind of in a holding phase right now where you're really trying to figure out, like, can I continue in this relationship, maintain my independence, maintain my goals, get to where I want to go, and do it in a way that is going to uplift me instead of damage me. We have the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands in reverse, and those energies can be quite unstable in the reverse. Knight of Cups always kind of gives me like a push and pull energy, like, and the Queen of Wands can be a bit controlling. Like it's almost like using your ego and your charisma for control, especially with the hand here, kind of like reaching out. And I feel like in the past when somebody's tried to assert control in this situation, like this Knight of Swords is coming out being like, nope, like cutting it off, you know, like, I'm not going to allow that. Don't talk to me like that. Like, I'm not going to do that, you know? And I think for you, it's going to really be about trying to navigate, continuing this relationship, continuing this dynamic, in a way where you feel like you're not making sacrifices for your growth or your future or your independence, not getting dragged towards another person. Like you need to be able to be two distinct people who choose to be in a relationship together, as opposed to kind of this like push and pull. Like I feel like there's a little bit of competition almost in this connection of who's going to be the king. Like I'm the king. You're not the king. I'm the king. But I do think that both of you are willing to come to the table and actually talk about this. It'll be different for all of you. So Spirit is not saying like a hard yes, a hard no, should you move on. I think it's a soft no. It's like, hey, come to the table with this person, put down your swords, like put down your swords and really figure out what you want, like what fills your cup, what makes you feel strong and independent. And I think if you come to this person with a spirit of collaboration and rule with sweetness, I think that you will have a really productive conversation. Spirit, do you have advice for pile 3 on how to approach this situation? Okay. Right off the bat, we've got the Emperor in reverse, which I think is really emphasizing, like, you are two people. You cannot be fighting for control within the relationship because it's not going to work. It feels like, even though one of you is the fish and the fish is like generally a pretty go with the flow energy, I don't see the fish as passive. I feel like the fish is like, yo, like I go with the flow, but I'm like flying with the flow. I'm a firefly. Like, I'm not down for this. And the fire ant is like, I'm definitely not down for this. And I feel like the challenge here is really taking the feedback from each other and really going within and growing. Like, we have judgment here. So I think your advice is like, really, like, if you want to get your 10 of Cups moment, like we have the 10 of Cups reversed and then the 2 of Swords, you really need to think about like what is important to you, what makes you successful, and how you can integrate the lessons that you learned from this connection, this person. The 10 of Cups in this deck also has a lot of like lips and mouths on it. And that almost tells me that like there are a lot of people who are like watching the situation or giving feedback to you about it. Like, maybe you've told your friends or you've shared with family members like things that have gone down in this connection. It doesn't feel like it's been super pleasant all the time. It feels like it's been rocky and there's been a lot of back and forth. I think this is a reminder that this is your decision to make. This isn't your parents, this isn't your friends. Like, sometimes I think it's really hard when we tell other people the negative parts of a relationship and what's happened. It really colors their view. Like, they don't see a lot of the positive things. They don't see that this energy could be balanced if both of you made concessions. Like this has to be done in a spirit of collaboration. And again, we have the 2 of Swords here. In order to make this decision, you're gonna have to put down your swords. Like, this is not a situation where you can go into battle and face this person. You gotta go at it with sweetness. You both have to put those swords down, and then you'll be able to make a decision together. So I think the best path forward here, from what I'm seeing, is going into this situation with sweetness and love. Remembering, like, you're not bound to make any decision. If this connection does not suit you anymore and it's not going to get you to this like really like healthy 9 of Pentacles and super relaxed, chill 4 of Swords, like, then it's not a situation for you. But if you can work it through with this person and you can both feel really empowered and supportive of one another, which I think there's a lot of potential for here, you know, that's your decision to make, and you can make that and you can work towards that. So let's get you just like 1 or 2 cards of advice. again, on how to approach this situation. Remember, you have free will. If you don't want to talk to this person at all and you feel like, I don't feel sweet to them, you do not have to. This is truly just energy at this time. So Spirit, do you have any closing advice? Okay. We have Witch's Hat. Express yourself and share your gifts with the world. I'm going to put a little Vandy crystal on this gal. We have New Moon, fresh start, new beginnings, and manifestation. What you seek is seeking you. I think these are really telling you that there can be a fresh start in this connection. I think it already has started to happen. The biggest thing here is your approach towards it. Like, if you give love to this situation and you really believe that you can have a fresh start and it can be positive, I think this person is also looking for that with you. Like, we have what you seek is seeking you. If you turn your attention somewhere else, like, you are going to find someone with energy that matches you. It's really up to you what you want to do with this creative potential. And I think this express yourself and share your gifts with the world, I think that's really just reminding you, like, your approach is like 90% of the game here. If you come at people with sweetness, they're going to respond with sweetness. If you come at them with fire, they're going to respond with fire. And it's really important to kind of like take ownership of the energy that you bring to the table, as well as the energy that you're receiving, because it's all energy and it is an exchange. So what you put in, you are also going to get out. Okay. So I think this is it. I hope this was some good advice for you. I hope it was helpful. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me, bringing your energy to this pile. It was really beautiful. I love to see, you know, this type of growth, and I'm really excited for you and what happens next. So if you resonated with this reading, please like, comment, subscribe. That really helps me grow my channel. And above all, you know, protect your little heart out there, and I hope to see you again soon. Okay, bye. Hi, cuties. And hi, pile fours. This is Muertera from the future, right after doing this last pile. I wanted to give you a heads up that this was definitely a heavier pile. I know that I told you at the beginning, I would let you know if there was heavier energy. This is definitely a very specific message. So if you had a conflict recently and are asking about it, this is your pile. If you're not asking about something like that, or you're feeling a little bit sensitive today, I would definitely say pick one of the previous piles. If you felt drawn to one of those, or definitely check out one of my other readings. So I hope if you're going to continue that, you know, this next reading is helpful. I really want to make sure that this is like a positive experience for you. So grateful to have you here, and I will see you in your pile. Bye. Hi, pile 3. If you picked this little crystal quartz, this is your reading. So I have shuffled some oracles for you. I'm going to lay them out. I'm going to do an energy check so you can check that this is your pile. And we're going to do an A and B type format. So generally I read with person A as the person you're asking about and person B as you, but definitely take it as it resonates. This is a relatively heavy energy. The card that came out is anger. So remember, if this doesn't feel right for you, or if you're not in a space to receive this information right now, definitely click to a different pile or a different reading. The person on the left is represented by the oyster and the bat. And on the right, we have the lion and the camel, and these are all in reverse. As the central energy, we also have the one. We have the Tower reversed, and then we have the King of Swords. And then we have two intuitive oracle cards. We have Alphabet Noodles and Unruly. Okay. So I think the two people in this connection, this energy feels really like hot and recent. Um, and I feel like there is a little bit of like a stewing feeling to it. Like both people in the connection are like really, really focused on it. Um, and I think there is a little bit of blame going on here as well. Um, because when I look at these two cards, like there's this eye and there's also almost lightning like kind of going down to this like the one. And the one in this deck is not necessarily about like, oh, like you're my only one, you're my soulmate. It's more about like feeling at one with the universe. And it almost feels like there is like hyper focus from both sides on this situation and specifically like this other person. It feels like very, very intense and very recent. The oyster person seems like they have like completely kind of withdrawn, yet they are like unwilling to move on. And I feel like they're like dwelling obsessively almost on this hurt, whether it was like a hurt of ego, pride, like it feels like something around like that type of energy. The reason why I feel like a lot of this anger is coming from the bat as well is like the colors in the bat's wings like are red. And I feel like the lion is like feeling this anger as well, like the lion camel person. But their response to it is just like a little bit different. Like the camel wants to move on and keep going. Um, but the lion is also kind of like a not harsh, but the lion stands in its power. And I don't think the lion is able to move past this hurt or slight either. Um, but kind of like for different reasons. Like I'm almost getting like this deluge is almost like coming from the bat person's side and it's just like a little bit relentless and it's really draining the camel person, but at the same time they're not willing to back down. I feel like there is a lot of like words kind of flying around, a lot of like explanations, a lot of like, I don't want to say like straight up bullying energy, but it feels a little bit like that. Like this bat person is like using words and intellect to try to like almost like roll over this camel person and be like, nope, this is the way it happened. This is the way that it is. Like, I'm upset with you. It's your fault. You need to be different. You need to do this. Like, and I'm also like noticing as I look at this, like the camel has these little like white stripes on it, and it the background of it looks a lot like the one card as well. And then there are also stripes on the lion. Like I feel like this person is like hyper focused on it. We also have unruly as one of the cards. So this person could get pretty heated, and that might be kind of in this like uncontrolled state right now. They're like not budging, not giving an inch. Like they've got their oyster armor on and they're like ready to go to battle. We also have alphabet noodles, and alphabet noodles is like tells me that this person is like making justifications for their actions or for whatever happened in this situation. But it doesn't like quite make sense. Like it doesn't quite add up. Like they are kind of like washing away all of their culpability and not really taking responsibility for what they've put into the situation. Like they're just kind of like they're pretty heated and the blame is all going outward. Um, and because of the like unruly nature of their feeling right now, like they're probably not making a lot of sense. Like they're probably bringing things up from like 1992 that happened where you're like, dude, like we're over this, you know, like we had a conflict like 3 years ago. Like, why are you bringing that up? We apologized, we hugged it out. Like, what's going on? Or they're kind of like making justifications. Well, you did this, and like, I can't believe you said this. And you're like, I didn't say that. I don't know where you're bringing, like, I don't know where this is coming from. It feels like their anger is like not really allowing them to actually like process thoughts in a healthy way. We also have the King of Swords here as well. And I think clarified with the Tower, and then also with this kind of like unruly alphabet noodleness, just kind of enhances that for me. Okay, this is a pretty specific energy. So I would say if you have not had a conflict with the person you're asking about, and this is not connecting, definitely pick a different pile. If you've made it this far and you're continuing, this is your pile, my friends. And I'm sorry that you are in this situation. This seems like this seems very stressful, to be perfectly honest. Like, my heart goes out to you right now. You know what I just heard too is the straw that broke the camel's back. I feel like you have been like pretty patient with this person, to be perfectly honest. Like, the fact that you're in this reading right now, you got the camel as your energy. I have a feeling that most of the people here are the camel. I feel like you have been like pushed to your edge, and you've kind of been trying to be like that King of Swords energy as well, where you're just like rational and trying to help this person process their feelings, and it's just like not working. It's like almost like you have this like sword of like knowledge, or like this sword of rationality, and you're trying to like crack open their shell, and it's just like really not working. So let's ask, should you move on? I think the focus for this, I'm gonna ask some clarifiers as well. Like, is this a temporary energy, or like, is this just what you're gonna expect from this person moving forward? Spirit, help us out. Help out Pal 4. Should they move on from this connection? Okay, we have the Three of Swords and the Nine of Wands. Yeah, I think that this is not the first time that this has happened. I'm sorry. I just heard love is not supposed to be like this. We have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords. And the Wheel of Fortune. Okay. Looking at these cards, and from what I'm feeling right now, Spirit is saying that it's time to move on. You have free will. You can make any choice that you want. When I said you can move on, I feel like this person's energy just kind of like rose up, like the hair on the back of their neck just stood up. It was a weird feeling, actually. They don't like that message, clearly. I mean, if there's a lot of love and care, like history in this connection, yeah, they're not gonna like it, but I think Spirit is really saying this is about you, and this is about how you are feeling in this connection. It's not about how this other person is feeling. I feel like you have been as generous as you can be, but you're at that point where it's like, okay, like, I've been in this Three of Swords for a while. Like, this person is just continuing to hurt me. When is this Nine of Wands moment gonna end? Like, this just feels like it's endless. We also have the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords in reverse here. And I feel like this person's energy is just very unstable. I feel like they do have that tendency to say hurtful things, act rashly, not really think through what they're saying, and then just like really like dig into it. You're like, nope, like, I did this, it's your fault, you're the reason why. And I think that's very unfair. The Wheel of Fortune is here. Like, there's kind of like a instability, and like this person's energy is unpredictable. They could be super sweet and like great and fun for a while, but then like something flips and you're just like right back. I feel like this really is talking about cycles as well. Like, kind of just like waiting for the other shoe to drop, that's a really unfair energy to be in. If that's how you feel right now, like I am so sorry. I am really sorry. You know, like you don't deserve to be treated like that. Love is really not supposed to be like that. And I want you to know that. There are connections out there for you where people will treat you right. And if you don't feel like you are being treated right in this situation, you know, that's what I'm seeing right now. Like, you don't want to give your heart to somebody and then have them respond with like blades and fists. And that's really what I'm seeing here right now. Something that Spirit is saying, this Knight of Wands, like there are a lot of hands in it. I feel like you have a support system and you have people in your life that have kind of reached out hands and tried to help you through this situation. They're really saying lean on those people. Like they're really reaching out. They're trying to like pull you out of this Nine of Wands situation, saying like, hey, like, okay, there's this one hand that's like holding you, but like we are many and we're here. Like we're going to support you. We're going to hold you. And that's something that Spirit is really emphasizing right now. Like you're not stuck in this. You're not alone. Like family, friends, the people around you, they see you hurting. Like this is not unknown to other people. This is not something, you know, even if you have tried to hide it and, you know, tried to put best foot forward and be positive and shield people from really seeing what the reality is, they are seeing it and they want to help you, whether or not like they've come to you and actually said something about it. Like I feel like you have this supportive network that is like literally just like waiting for you to be like, please catch me. And they'll be like, yes, we will of course catch you. Like tell us what you need. Okay. So let's see, you know, if you have free will. And there are some people in this situation where, you know, maybe it's like the first time. Maybe there's others where it hasn't been the first time. So let's ask, you know, like what is coming in this situation? What's going to be the resolution of this angry situation or this heavier energy? Okay, so we have the Six of Wands, we have the Nine of Swords, and then we have the Two of Swords reversed. I feel like for this person, image is extremely important. And they will try to preserve their image as much as possible. It's something that causes them a great deal of stress. Like they don't actually want other people to see what's going on in this situation. They want to be the victor. They want to be the one that like is, you know, they want to be the Knight of Wands, like upright, kind of like, you know, writing in, saying like, look at me. I think that if you remain in this situation, again, you know, like every situation is going to be a little bit different. I do think you're going to be in an environment where you are going to be worrying about the next time that this happens. Like the Nine of Swords in this deck is a pretty strong card. There's just like all of these little fingers with blades in it. Pretty like dark trees above it. I think it's going to be really hard for something to take root if there's this much anger in the connection. And I think like in order for you to stay in this, to be perfectly honest, because you may also be worried about appearances and what people think and what they're seeing. Again, people are seeing more than you think that they are. Like they're more aware than you think that they are. But the Two of Swords reversed really talks about denial, about needing to make a decision and being unwilling to. And it's not necessarily about feeling trapped, like say like the Eight of Swords would be, where you're standing in a field of swords and you have a blindfold on, and you could walk out. This is really about you being able to look clearly at this situation and not be the rational king of swords, like I'm gonna approach this person and be rational and try to be the peacekeeper and try to be the bigger person. It's more about you removing the blindfold and saying, these are my two options. I can stay in this knowing that this is this person's cycle and this is likely to happen again. Or I can make a different decision and move out of this, knowing that I have the support and love of the people around me. Like literally you have all of these hands that are willing to catch you. But staying in means that you're staying with 9 blades instead of 9 hands to catch you. And I think that's really the message that's coming out really, really strongly for me here. Is that this is really your choice. Like you can continue, but if you feel truly like you are at the breaking point where this is the straw that broke your back, like there is no going back from here, like this is what's going to continue to happen, this is going to be the cycle that I'm going to live through, Spirit is saying you have other options. You are not tied to this. So Spirit, I think their answer for this is you should move on. Pick yourself. Like you have the ability to see clearly. And I think you are seeing clearly, but I think there's a lot of history here, and it's really scary to take that step and make that decision and realize, like, to a certain degree, like, a lot of times we lie to ourselves to stay in situations because we love that person. And I think you have a lot of love to offer. I think that there is somebody out there waiting for you who will also offer you that love, where you can feel reciprocity and not feel scared or anxious in your relationship. Because this instability feels really hurtful. So let's pull you some advice cards. And honestly, the bottom of the deck already is Coven, Power of Sisterhood. And normally I don't look at the bottom of the deck, but it just kind of popped out right here. You have that network of people that really wants to help you and they want you to feel that love. Like, they have so much love for you. Like, I'm feeling it right now. Like, it makes me want to cry because they feel like they're hurting with you. Like your pain is my pain is what I'm hearing. I think your mom is really worried too. We also have count your blessings. Like, this person may try to isolate you and make you feel, it's that alphabet soup thing. Like, they might make you feel like you do not have blessings in your life besides them, but you do. You just have to remove that blindfold and realize, like, you have everything around you. Like, you are the rich one in this connection. You are the wealthy one. You have people around you that absolutely adore you and love you, and they want to take care of you and make sure that you're safe. Okay, and we have 2 more cards. It is okay to change the direction, absolutely, and love and mother yourself. I think this is a story telling you that, like, you don't have to deal with anybody else's energy like this. You can prioritize yourself. And I think you've put in a lot of energy to this person that they just kind of take it. And they're reflecting back like a very toxic, negative version of love to you. And if you look at this card, like, it is okay to change direction. Like, you're going to find happiness in any direction. But I think in this case, like, this would be standing still. This is not making a move. Like, this is calling you to protect yourself, to see that the good things that you have in your life, and to structure your life around those, knowing that the universe is going to be there to catch you, knowing that you are absolutely not alone no matter what this person says. You cannot trust the things that this person says. They're literally throwing out words just to confuse you and keep control. So I really hope that you're safe right now. This feels like really, like, my heart is just going out to you. Please reach out to the people in your network. Reach out to your mom. Like, I feel like your mom is hurting and worried and could give you a lot of support if you are willing to be really honest with her and let her know what's happening. Like, reach out to your network. You've got so many people around you. I'm sending you so much love, like care, a huge hug right now. Thank you for coming here. I hope this was helpful. And again, I'm really sorry that you're feeling this. I really hope that you protect yourself and you're safe right now. So I hope that, next time you come and see me, you're in a better place, I guess. I don't know how to end this right now because I'm a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm a stranger on the internet and I love you and you deserve the world. So I will end it there. And I hope that you will come and see me again soon. Okay, bye.